no, I feel like I just jumped out of a bucket full of crabs. That's how I feel. The crab in a barrel mentality is completely true, because this is the type of approach that I'm getting from people back home. Like, people will watch my videos, they watch everything that I do, but they will never congratulate me. They will never call me to support me. Why? Because I jumped out of a bucket. I jumped out of the crabs in a barrel. I'm the crab that got out. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm keeping it real with y'all. Because when I was moving out here to Africa, I didn't really know, what I was walking into mentally, spiritually, physically. I didn't really understand what the process would be like. Honestly, I thought, with everything that my family has been through, me moving here, I would get like congratulations from my family. I thought, they would be supportive of my move. I thought, I would get so much love. And I'm starting to see that I feel like a runaway slave moving here to Africa. And the reason I say that is because this is like the most freeing moment of my life, and I have absolutely no support from my family or the friends, the people that I call friends. Well, I didn't really have many friends, honestly, but my family, like, they don't call me. They don't call me to check on me, ask me how is Africa going, none of that. And so moving here to Africa, you will feel like a runaway slave. And I just want to keep it honest with you guys about what you will go through moving here, the type of approach that you would get from your family back home and the people here in Africa. So when I was in America, my parents moved there. They made a huge sacrifice to move us here, get our papers, to give us what we thought was freedom at the time. I remember telling my brother, "Oh, we're gonna go to America and be rich," but there's no richness in America. There's no American dream. You have to slave to get any. You have to be a slave in America to get any type of success, especially if you're in the workforce. But there's no American dream, and I found that out when we lost my mom, because they worked so hard to get us here. And even though they work so hard, at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for it, because there's no American dream. Like, okay, firstly, I'm going to explain the slave culture in America, because a lot of people don't understand it. And I know I have viewers from all over the world. So in America, you have to slave to get any type of success. I actually seen a video where a girl was explaining, another Jamaican girl was explaining it, and I'm just play that video for you guys really quick and explain what I mean later on. So check it out.
You see, this message is for everybody at Jamaica who are killed themselves to come a foreign. Foreign nice, me not lie. Foreign nice. There's a lot of opportunities here, but one thing people not telling about foreign. And when time people do telling about foreign, and the things say them bad mind and they don't want to come here and the whole shebang. So let me tell you about foreign. There are opportunities in America. Me not lie about that, because things where we can attain in America in a small period of time probably will take somebody a lifetime in Jamaica to reach those same achievements, right? But with America, I have to understand that this is a plantation. The society was built off of the same formula that they use to maintain the plantations. So when you come in at the workforce in America and they tell you about the American dream and you did there try catch the American dream, which is the house with the white picket fence, the husband, the 2.5 kids, the good education and the big job, and all of these big cars and everything where you have to maintain. The catch is you're going to work till you're dead, till you're literally dead, turn over, resurrect, your soul come back in our new body and work again to pay off the American dream. Okay? So me I tell you now, say the American dream is a fraud. You can come get it if you want, but you are going to work till you're dead. You have people who in them 50s, 60s right now are work double shift, 16 hours a day them are work. And then can sit down, then can go to go sit down and chill and laugh with them bridging like how you do a Jamaica on the job. Then can show up late a morning time, then can I go, then can have bad customer service, then can drink one beer pan them break. Then can do none of that. Them have to go to work and you literally walk. Some people only get one 30-minute break in a 8 hour. When you're supposed to get 2:15 and a 30. And when your 8 hour done, your boss come and tell us, say, yo, you have to stay, you're mandated to work another 8-hour shift. And because you have to pay for all of this American dream where you got trust from the bank, and you have all of these loans and debt, you have to stay there to work that other 8 hour. Right? So, run come a foreign if you don't want, but me I tell you, say, be prepared for the truth. And the truth is, you not go work till you're dead. And if you not work till you're dead, you not go almost dead. So here what you do. When you come a foreign, have a 10-year plan. You work hard. You get every money where you can get. You send your money back a yard. Me don't want to hear about how Jamaica violent. Me don't want to hear about that you buy piece of land and you build one house. And you put on one car down there and you cut.
Alright. Yeah, so in America, things are not natural, you know. Everything she's saying is true. Because when you get to America, it's the same system that was set up from the plantation. And the people who are working in the workforce are mostly black people, minorities, and you get paid pretty much little to nothing. And even when you have your own business, when you're paying taxes and you're paying the overhead fees of your business, like for example, I had a business and I was making 6 figures selling clothes for about 4 or 5 years, and I did the same thing selling hair, but I mean not selling hair, but doing hair, doing locks in New York. But the thing about America is like, when I had my business, for example, selling clothes, and my dad was trying to teach me about like the finances and everything, I realized like I'm not really making that much money. 6 figures, when you make 6 figures, you have to move to a safer environment, because I had merchandise with me, you know, stuff like that. So I had to move to a safe environment. If I'm shipping things out all the time, I can't be in some hood neighborhood where it's unsafe and people will steal from me. So I had to upgrade my lifestyle. And when you have to upgrade your lifestyle in America and you're making this type of money and you look at your overhead costs, you're not really making that much. When I had to pay myself a check from that job, and the rest of everything went to taxes, paying fees, paying rent. You know, and the quality of life that you get in America opposed to living in Africa is like so terrible. And I didn't realize that until I came here. You know, I was paying $1,650 a month in New York, and my landlord was extremely negligent. The place was trash, you know, and it's just not. It's not, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And a lot of my family in Jamaica, they think like, you know, it's sweet in America, and it's really not. You will work like a slave. You will, even if you do achieve that American dream, like the girl mentioned, you will die once you reach that dream. My mother worked for 8 years. I spent 8 years with my mother that I remember, because when we went to America, and when we went to America, they started establishing their own business. My parents worked a few jobs until they established their own business because they were both in education. And my mom and father opened after school and summer camp program for kids in the neighborhood, and honestly it was very successful. By the third year of working at that by the third year of their business, we were in a 6-bedroom house. But as soon as we got the 6-bedroom house, my mother was diagnosed with cancer and given 6 months to live. And I was 17 at the time. I was in high school. I was in 11th grade, and they told me the news. And I was just like, what is this? You know, like, because I know if she was in America, this wouldn't have happened. Because the food isn't cancerous. The food is real in Jamaica. The food is real in Africa. The food is real when you go to Thailand and different places in the world. It's not real. Most of the food in America is all GMO-based foods. So, you know, you have to think, like, what is this dream that I'm working for? Is there really a dream, or is it a nightmare? You know, but I say this to say, you know, once I got here, I thought, you know, with everything that I've been through, that my family and my friends would support me. And, you know, no, I feel like I just jumped out of a bucket full of crabs. That's how I feel. The crab in a barrel mentality is completely true, because this is the type of approach that I'm getting from people back home. Like, people will watch my videos, they watch everything that I do, but they will never congratulate me. They will never call me to support me. Why? Because I jumped out of a bucket. I jumped out of the crabs in a barrel. I'm the crab that got out. And that's why no one wants to support me, because if they're on a plantation, they don't want me to be freed from the plantation. And this is exactly what slaves went through when they ran away from the plantations in, you know, back in the day. And I'm starting to feel like my ancestors. Yeah, so I just want to be honest with you guys, because people really don't know what you're going to go through when you make this type of move. They think, you know, like, oh, my family, I want my family support. I'm here to let you know, most people that I've connected with here that's repatriated, they do not have support from their family. At least 95% of the people that I've met have told me, like, they don't get any support from their family. They don't get any, no one calls them to check on them. It's not about support. It's just like interest, right? People being actually interested in what you're doing. And no one actually has to be interested in what I'm doing, but it would be nice, you know, if they would call me, check on me, you know, ask me how is it going. But I don't think they need to know that, because I document everything, so people know exactly how it's going. They just don't want to congratulate me. They just don't want me to know, to feel like I have any type of support. I honestly feel like they want me to fail out here. Not everyone, but some people. Because when I told people of my plan, just like the slaves told people on the plantation, like, hey, I plan to run away, they will literally snitch on you to the master, or they will fill you with fear and doubt. And that's the type of approach that I got from some of my family members when I told them that I would be moving to Africa. Oh, don't go there. You don't want to run away from massa. We got it good here. You ain't got enough money saved to leave and free yourself. You know, like, this is the approach that I got living in, leaving America. And this is why I feel like a runaway slave. And on the other side of the coin, now that I've survived the plantation and moved back to Africa, I feel like a survivor that survived the kidnapping of my ancestors, because we are our ancestors. So if I am my ancestors and I'm here running away to freedom, right? I feel like I'm coming back to a home where my family thought that I was going to this special place. It's like I was kidnapped, but they thought that I was just like, and I'm speaking as my ancestor, it's like I was kidnapped and they thought that I was being adopted into some system that was going to make me rich. So when I come here, people think that I'm rich. They think that things are so sweet. When I don't give people money, they look at me as if I'm stingy or selfish. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this narrative, I hope, I know in time it would change once we all make the move and tell people the truth of our story in America. But I would rather deal with those assumptions than to be on a plantation where people don't even want to see you be freed. Misery loves company, right? So the people who don't want to leave the plantation, people who don't want to leave America, they don't want you to leave America. And this is what you will go through when you come here. And I thought, I didn't know how things would be, honestly. But if you got the call to be here in Africa, it isn't about your family. It isn't about, what people think when you get here. What matters is when you get here, you feel free. You realize that you're not supposed to work 16-hour shifts or 8-hour shifts with a 30-minute break. When I come here, like, people sleep on the job, they relax, things are very relaxed. Now, I do think things should change just a little bit to progress in Africa's economy, but to improve Africa's economy. But this is the natural pace of living. This is how food is supposed to taste. This is how natural food is supposed to taste. This is how relaxed I'm supposed to feel. I'm home. So it doesn't really matter what people think of me. And more so matters what they think of my daughter. And honestly, they embrace my daughter. And I know in the future, my daughter will be seen as African. She doesn't even have an American accent. My daughter now has a Ugandan accent. So I think that is so cool that I put my daughter in a place where she's supposed to be. It isn't really about me, just like it wasn't about my parents when they moved to America. It was all about us and how it was going to allow us to progress. And the only progression in America is actually getting like she said, making a 10-year plan, using the U.S. currency to your benefit. Europeans come here all the time with the Euro currency and live their best lives. I see white people all the time in Africa, more than I see black Americans, honestly. And white Americans also come here and they use their money and benefit in Africa, and they set up shop, they invest in Africa, and we're still afraid to come here because of what our family may think or how we may be embraced by the community. And really what matters is the next generation. And what matters is your peace of mind. What matters is your health, how healthy you are. Are you going to be there for your seeds? Are you going to be there for your children in 20, 30 years? And I know I didn't want to stay in America because there's no future there. There's no American dream. There's no American dream. There's an American nightmare. So I thank my mother, my father for making the sacrifices they did so that I can set up abundance here for my daughter. And really, that's all that matters to me. So if you got the call to be here, if you feel like God is telling you to come to Africa and to move here, make the move. Don't care about what your family is saying, because we've been so conditioned mentally to just hate on one another, to want one another to be in misery with each other. And you just have to really see the bigger picture in all of it, because you're going to feel ostracized from your family. Most people, you're going to feel sometimes not accepted by certain cultures in Africa. Certain African people. But once you find that place where you in Africa where you feel at home, you feel embraced by the people, is no better feeling than this. And people will hate on you because of it. They will not support you because of it, because misery loves company overall. But I just want to tell you guys, the truth about being here, because I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how my family would treat me. I have not had one family member hit me up and say, hey, how's everything going there? And I mean, I guess it's because they see my videos, but I don't know. I don't really feel like they really wanted me to be here, and it's okay because God chose me to be here. God called on me to be here. He literally pushed me out of America after losing my parents. You know, I've lived in every major city. I've encountered every type of success. I've worked my ass off, and I still don't feel the level of freedom that I feel here in Africa. Even when I was dead broke, I feel so much richer here in Africa. So the sacrifice is well worth it. The people ostracizing me is well worth it. Yes, I do feel like a runaway slave, but I also feel like I feel free. I feel free. So you're going to feel both feelings being here. And like I said, if you got the call from God to be here, you can't expect other people to understand that call, because they didn't get that call. And the people who get the call to be here, God has already equipped you throughout your life to have certain characteristics to be able to handle this move. I've always been a loner. I've always been like strong. Life has made me strong. And now I see why God has equipped me with certain skills, certain characteristics to be able to make this move here and, just see things for what they are. So I'm here to be honest with you guys. Not everyone's going to have that understanding from their family. You're not going to feel understood by, most Africans, but your kids will feel understood. They will be African. They will be where they're supposed to be. And that's all it's about. It's the next generation. It's about moving forward in Africa, not moving back. Moving forward to progression. Moving forward to where we belong. Moving forward to freedom. So don't do it for everybody else. Don't pay attention to the negative things that people will tell you about Africa, the negative things people will tell you about moving to Africa. Make the move. If God told you to be here, come to Africa and live your best life. This is where we belong, and nobody can tell me any different. I've been here now, and next month will be a year that I've been in Africa. And even though I don't feel support from my family, one thing about making the move to Africa is like once you step into your faith, because that's what it takes. It's not about planning and having a certain amount of money and this and that. Like it's bigger than that. If God told you to make the move, He's calling you to have faith in Him. Come here. Once you step into your faith, that's when you step into your soul tribe. Your soul tribe will surround you. Everything you need is here in the motherland. God will equip you. God will surround you with people who support you when you get here. Especially if you publicize your move. Yeah, your family may not support you, but I've had people reach out from all over the world supporting me, being there for me. And it's like, wow, if I would have listened to my family, if I would have listened to people and their negativity about Africa and my journey, I wouldn't be living in my purpose. Whatever your purpose is, it's easier for you to get to your purpose here, because you have a level of peace that you will never get in America, because you have so many distractions, so much injustice, so much negativity, so much of everything that's like there to distract you. And here I feel there's like a level of peace, and I know people want to they want me to give up, but I will never give up on my dream, and God will never give up on me. And I just want to offer you guys some motivation and some wisdom, because most people are not going to keep it real with you, but I'm here to keep it real with you. You will get support, but it may not be from your family. You will feel happy, but you got to step into your faith first. This is the truth, you guys. So I hope you like what I've had to say. And if not, the truth is uncomfortable, but this is the truth. This is my truth. This is a lot of people's truth. So thank you for watching, and one love. Bye.